Hey guys, it's Lori from the Watchman's Midnight Hour, and I want to quickly address something. I found it very interesting. The most recent message by Mike from around the world, he shared a lot of the visions that the Lord had given to him in his earlier days. It sounds very similar to what Ken Peters was given when he was younger, before they really got serious with God, but God ultimately knew that they would speak out at a time like this and that they would have to share what he has given them. Now, we all know, if anyone's paying much attention, and also we know that Mike doesn't really stand too much on the catching away, the changing in the twinkling of an eye, that one moment when the Lord comes and has to take out the salt of the earth. We're aware of that. So what happens is when you listen to him share, he recently shared all of his visions and revelations. I believe they were maybe even more revelations because he can remember them as clear as today as back then, and they're all coming to pass. And he shared about a bay window. He was in a home that had a bay window. And when he went to that window, he saw blackness and burning embers all around and just major destruction outside the window where you couldn't even see, you couldn't see past the blackness, into the, because it was so thick with the debris. And then somehow the Lord led him to an understanding that all the children were gone. Whatever he saw after that, he saw all the children gone. He said the devastation and the change of the world was so drastically different than what it had been. And we all know that when the Lord comes, many of us have had the understanding that World War III is really, it's really hitting the fan. It's, missiles are coming into America. That debris is surrounding everybody. A lot of us are going to probably be covered with debris. But I was shown that we're changing the twinkling of an eye and it doesn't harm us. And then we're waiting, right, to be caught up. But he doesn't understand that he has admitted he's never sought the Lord on the rapture issue. He also sadly argues the point over and over and over and over again, and it almost gets overbearing. I don't know if anyone ever pays much attention to the Council of Time, but I have to skip through a lot of that because it's just him having an emotional breakdown bash over the issue, and it's so sad he doesn't see it. And I don't go on his site, and I'm not in his chat, so I can't really speak to him. I've never been able to email him. I wish I could have a sit down with him and really talk to him, because most people act like that when it's not biblical, and they have to bash an issue and fight it and argue it. But when the Lord gives you an understanding, you don't have to fight it. And what blew my mind, and I love it because I just almost wanted to stand up and scream, because his visions, his revelations, all they do is support the rapture. They support what every other believer has been given. Even just before that, what kills me is he saw Obama going to Putin to have a talk. Then he said some other woman came into the picture. I don't really know who it was, but he said, I don't really know how much time passed. But then all of a sudden I'm in this room with this bay window, right? Where then all of a sudden the kids are gone and all that. And he's thinking that his viewing of Obama was like during Obama's time in office. But we all know that Obama never has really left, that he obviously keeps, in my opinion, I really believe he keeps getting different positions. He's higher up than we ever, and then ultimately many of us have gotten the understanding that he's going to take on the position of Antichrist. Now, a lot of people say, no way. But when all the Christians are gone, those who love God, all of those who have that reprobate mind, all of those who are blinded by the enemy, have always felt that Obama's the one. Obama's the one that's going to save us all. Obama has all the answers. He's the great guy, So it's very likely he could be the one that steps up and everybody, leans to him for answers. So let's not all kick it in, and have a fight and argument. All I know is I was given discernment of the Pope and Obama when they met in 2015. And it was the exact morning they met, 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And I asked for translation and understanding as time went on over the vision God gave me of Obama and Pope Francis. And this man was doing an interview, a godly man, about Jubilees. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, Obama's the Antichrist and the Pope is the false prophet. And he's like, why in the world did I do that? Let's go back to what we were talking about. I have no idea why I said that. And I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, God answered my request. So when I listen to Mike and what God has shown him, if he would just open his eyes and look at others who are getting given the same information as him, because that's how I do it. I look around, and those who are getting the same understanding that God's giving me are the ones I know I can listen to. And then I put those puzzle pieces together. And I think many of us do that. And when we begin to see a much more clear picture of how it can all be possibly playing out very soon. So, and then when Mike's like, I'm in the house now that has that bay window where that happens, I'm just like, wow. I mean, can you imagine, guys? He pretty much made a assured stamp of approval that we are right there. And he keeps saying, you know what's funny is, Mike keeps saying, hey, I don't know how you're going to hold on to Christ when everything really starts changing and all this craziness starts happening. Are you going to stand with Christ? Or a lot of people are going to walk away from their faith. And I'm thinking, wait. Didn't you say that there's a verse that says that he will not give us anything that we cannot handle? And Mike's translation was that he will not put anything in our life that will make us turn away from Christ and walk away from Christ. So I'm thinking, okay, there's no way we could be there. If that's the kind of stuff that's coming down the pike, the elect can even be deceived. You know how it says that if it were even possible for the elect to be deceived, it's possible we're gone. That's why we can't be. Okay, well, I'm going to encourage you all, keep staying strong. I do believe 7:17, the Lord said the Jewish wedding, right? He also put in my spirit, it's the betrothal year. And he said, gift. Now, I do believe now it's possible that the Lord was confirming to me that when we hit this last Feast of Trumpets, it was that start of that betrothal year. That over this next year, within this next year to the next Feast of Trumpets, the Lord's going to come. Okay? That this is the actual betrothal year. That's where I'm beginning to discern, because at first I thought it meant that we were probably going to be out of here on Feast of Trumpets, but I think it was just a marking point. And I believe a lot of believers even see that too. That this is a point where it's going to get unprecedented and war is likely going to happen for sure within the next year, if not even this fall. And Mike even said that Russia's possibly waiting for the fall winds to change and shift because when if they put chemical warfare or even I should be very careful here, but if they put anything against us, right, it won't blow back onto them. And so this fall is the perfect timing. And even in some of his revelations, he was given that understanding that it was a fall season when all of this transpired, where what happened at the window when he saw all the devastation outside and all the debris, and all of a sudden the kids are gone. So, which I believe when all the children are gone, those innocent, the raptures happened. So, all right. Well, God bless you all. Take care. And I hope I don't get any, hope I don't get demonetized for this one. So, Lord, I pray for your protection in Jesus' name. All right. God bless you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.